I have been completely blown away by the amount of search traffic that I've gotten to my channel for people looking for information about Meetup.com. At the peak of lockdown, traffic did die down, almost come to a complete halt. But as things started to open back up, the search traffic for Meetup.com picked right back up. And so I thought that it would be a good idea to do another video to round out the other two Meetup videos that I've done. And in this particular video, going through and looking at the questions that people asked, and then putting this video together as a resource, a one-stop shop, so that all of your frequently asked questions could be addressed right here in this video. So I'm going to leave timestamps down below in the video notes, as well as the resources that I mentioned. And we're going to go ahead and get started with these 6 questions. Question number 1, how do I access member emails before I close my group down? Like, people are wanting to know, how can they get the email addresses for their members so that they can migrate their email list whenever they decide to stop being a Meetup organizer? Here's the answer. You can't. The only thing that you can do is continue to email your members through the Meetup platform, ask them to give you their email address, and then take that information and put it into your own email marketing campaign. And that's exactly what I did when I decided to close down my group. When you are a Meetup organizer, you don't see your members' personal email addresses. And I talked about that in my video where I was talking about the problems, the issues that I had as a Meetup organizer and some of the services that the platform didn't provide to those of us as organizers who were paying, to be able to have access to certain information. And email addresses was one of them. So what I decided to do, once I decided to close my group down, I would send out email notices letting the people know, hey, at X date, the group is no longer going to exist, but if you would like to stay in contact with me, if you would like to continue to get information from me, please share your email address. And then I created a landing page as well so that people could go to the landing page. That way I knew where those email addresses were coming from, that they were actually coming from Meetup group members. And another thing that I'll add pertaining to Meetup.com, sending out all of your emails to all of your group members. For whatever reason, they had the bright idea to create their algorithm like a social media platform, meaning that every time you send out an email to your group, not everyone is going to get that email that you've sent out. So keep that in mind as well as you send those emails and you feel like people aren't responding. Just know that Meetup.com limits the reach of the emails that you send out to your particular group. Question number 2. How do you mass remove members instead of deleting members one at a time? You can't do that either. And that's a good thing. And let me explain to you why. When I took over the last group that I led, that group had been in existence probably for about 4 years. So there were a lot of dormant members who no longer lived here in Austin. And I really wanted to have as true numbers as I possibly could for the people who may actually be interested in participating and engaging. So I totally understand wanting to be able to scale your group down and not just have a large group for the sake of vanity metrics. So what you can do is go in and you can filter members based on when people joined, if they've ever participated, attended an in-person event, if they've ever RSVP'd an event. And then when you're also looking, you can see people who no longer live in your city, because you got to remember, Meetup started as a place for people to meet locally. So for me, I crafted an email saying, hey, I see that you no longer live in the Austin area, taking into consideration that this is an in-person group. I'm going to go ahead and remove you, and I hope that you're able to find another Meetup group to join in your area. I did the same thing for the people who had never attended an event. I'm taking over as organizer. I see that you've never participated in an event. If you should change your mind and decide that you want to join, by all means, feel free to join again. It was just that simple. And what I found is that people who had never participated, people who had never shown up to an event, The minute they got that email saying that they were no longer part of the group, they responded wanting to know why I had taken them out of the group. So when you're thinking about removing members, just think about the fact that it's best to do that one at a time instead of having a feature where you can just go in and just mass, delete people. Does it take a little bit more time? Yes, but I think it's the best way to go about it. Number 3, are there any other platforms to consider as an alternative to Meetup.com? Yes, there are. I did a Google search for you, and down below in the video notes, I've linked to an article that was written on Medium.com that puts together a comprehensive list of other platforms that you can consider if you're wanting to move from Meetup.com for whatever reason. Number 4, how do you permanently delete your Meetup account? Okay, I did not delete my account when I stepped down as organizer. I am still a Meetup, participant, I guess. I still have my account on Meetup.com. So what I've done is I've gone directly to the Meetup.com website and I've linked to the help article that walks you through the steps of how to delete your account. So if that's what you're wanting to do, go back down to the video notes and click on that link and it'll walk you through step by step of how to delete your account. Question number 5, how do you cancel your subscription as a Meetup organizer? I thought that it would be best again to leave you the direct link from Meetup.com showing you exactly how to cancel your subscription as a Meetup organizer. Sometimes when you're trying to do a screen record of these things, it's just too fast. And sometimes it's just not really clear, easy to see depending on what type of device that you're viewing from. So go down below, check the link that will walk you through how to cancel your subscription as a Meetup organizer. Number 6, what do you do if you keep getting billed for your organizer subscription after you've canceled? When I was preparing the information to put together for this video, I could not believe the poor customer service that people were receiving when they were trying to get refunds, when they were trying to get an explanation as to why they were continuing to be billed after, they stepped down and attempted to remove their payment information. And I linked down below as well another article that walks you through how to cancel your subscription and a link that will help you get to support, email support. One of the things that I also found is that people have resorted to filing complaints with the Better Business Bureau in order to get their money back from Meetup.com. There are people who have been billed for 3 to 6 months after they've tried to cancel their subscription and have not been able to get any help. But from what I read and from what I saw, the people who are filing complaints on the Better Business Bureau website, they are the people who are actually getting some answers, getting their refunds, getting a direct email address to be able to contact someone at Meetup.com. So as a last resort, if you find yourself in that situation, please do exercise all of your rights as a paying customer to get your money back and, get your account closed out completely so that you don't ever have to worry about this situation ever again. And for me, the reason why I wanted to do this video, I'm not someone that I will ever pay for Meetup.com again. That doesn't, mean that I won't ever join someone else's group, but I won't participate on Meetup.com as an organizer for this reason, because as a result of the acquisition with Rework and then being sold again, it just doesn't seem like internally there's a team or a group of people who are dedicated to making that platform, be the resource that it used to be when it first started. But I did want to do my part to share this information with you for those of you who still love the platform, who still want to keep going. I hope this helps you in some way. And if you haven't already, check out my other 2 videos if you decide to keep your group. I have a video telling you how to be successful with your events. And if you want to see the video that started all of this, where I'm talking about the pricing changes with Meetup, you can check that video out as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in our next video.